The midsize SUV segment might be the most popular segment in the Indian market right now. In the last 5 years, we have seen a lot of midsize SUVs from various OEMs, and this segment was mostly dominated by the Korean auto giants Hyundai and Kia. Now, to occupy this space, the Japanese auto major Honda is all set to launch its midsize SUV, the Elevate. Elevate will be Honda's re-entry into the SUV segment, as they earlier had CR-V and BR-V. Now, this Elevate is going to be pitted against the Hyundai Creta, Kia Seltos, and all of the other midsize SUVs. Honda Elevate's front fascia is really tall and upright. The bonnet is nice and flat, and the grille is really set vertically, and it reminds me of those big butch American SUVs. The front end comprises a large squared-off radiator grille, finished in piano black. The full LED headlamp cluster is slender-looking with whiskers for LED DRLs. It adds a premium touch to the front end. The bumper features triangular fog lamp housings, along with a slim scuff plate. The DRL and the headlight are reminiscent of the City, and that's what the Elevate is actually based on. The platform is shared by City and Elevate. Therefore, you'll find some similarities here and there. The Elevate's side profile is appealing, as the black cladding, squared-off wheel arches, chunky silver-finished roof rails, and a flat profile for the roof give it a distinctive stance. The roof line is flat, and it doesn't dip like a coupe or any of the new modern designs that we have seen. It's also quite plain and devoid of too much fuss around the styling. The design of the 17-inch diamond-cut alloy rims look plain, and there's a huge gap between the tire and wheel arch. The ground clearance is 220 mm, and in fact the highest in its segment. In the rear, what is really popular these days is the connected light strip, and the Elevate also gets the same treatment, but the center section is a reflector. The L-shaped wraparound tail lamps look classy. The rear facet looks more imposing. In fact, it features more cuts and creases than both the front and side profile. The overall design looks plain and lacks sharpness. The exterior build quality of the Elevate is top-notch. The doors are solid, and while closing, it gives you nice confidence. The cabin is familiar, and the dashboard looks really nice and classy. In fact, the materials feel nice. The steering wheel is a direct lift from the City, and so is the climate control panel. In fact, the layers used on the dashboard are City-inspired. Those of you looking for something flashy and flamboyant, you're not going to find that here in Elevate, because the styling is all very straight-lined and very typical, very old school in that sense. If you like that, you will be very happy, because it's done really well through the features. You've got auto climate control, wireless charging, and 2 USB sockets, which are Type A, not the Type C that we've been seeing on the newer generation cars. The Elevate gets a 7-inch TFT LCD for the instrument cluster and a new larger 10.25-inch touchscreen infotainment unit with wireless connectivity options. It gets a Level 2 ADAS like the City, which comprises lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, and more. Elevate misses the panoramic sunroof and comes only with a single-panel sunroof. It misses power-adjustable seats, a 360-degree parking camera, a rear center headrest, and ventilated seats, which are now offered in most of the SUV's top trim. The rear seats offer adequate space. It probably isn't class-leading, but it has got sufficient legroom, and headroom is actually quite good. You get an armrest, and the seats really feel nice. Due to the sloping upwards floor, it provides a natural footrest and feels comfortable. Other features: you've got rear AC vents and a 12-volt power socket. The boot space too is best in class at 458 liters. While looking at the engines, or I would rather say engine, because the Elevate is powered only by a 1.5L 4-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine, which is borrowed from the City. This engine churns out a peak power output of 121 PS against a peak torque of 145 Nm. There are 2 transmission choices on offer: a 6-speed MT and a CVT. People looking for some hybrids or diesel have to look for some other options. Bookings for the Elevate will open next month, and the sales are expected before the festive season. There is huge scope for Honda to price it aggressively. Therefore, we expect the Elevate to be priced between 12 lakh rupees to 16 lakh rupees. The price will play a crucial role, and it will determine whether the Elevate will elevate Honda in the mid-size SUV segment.